sometimes I find myself just randomly remembering a particular scene in
I
some
always
Disney.
wanted a brother.
Exactly, and you just go to YouTube, Lion King, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This, you watch that exact clip,
And then you
of
don't
it,
watch
and
the rest of the movie.
You just go on your day to day, right?
Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk, the podcast of tech talk for everyday people. We're back and Happy New Year. I know it's probably a bit too late to say that.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas in arrears, I guess.
All of that. Happy Valentine's, Happy Easter. We're telling you all of this now in advance in case we don't catch on to say it right
to make
about
up for coming late with your Christmas and New Year wishes.
Exactly. Well, we hope you had a delightful holiday. I know I did. And I guess you did too.
Yeah.
There has been so much happening already. It's literally just a couple of days into the new year, but the tech scene is already buzzing and revenue is flowing, stock is high up. We are going to kickstart this episode with our favorite company, which has now moved on to become the second most valuable company in the entire world. Can you guess what company that is?
I mean, Alphabet, right?
Alphabet has really maxed out their valuation on the stocks market this new year. It's literally just a couple of days into the new year.
Yeah.
But it is fantastic because right now they are just behind EBITDA as the most valuable company in the world. Google has done a whole lot, even with the introduction of Gemini, which is quite funny. I mean, I see your point now. When you said that AI was going to change things, I mean, we knew AI was going to change things, but me personally, I didn't realize that Gemini was going to be the final cement that will get Google to that point that Alphabet becomes the second most valuable company in the entire world. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's something that isn't really surprising to me. I mean, with all the moves that Google are making, they've invested heavily into artificial intelligence over the years and also shipping it into their products.
Yeah.
Many people, I feel, underestimated Google's ability to actually become an AI leader. Simply because, rewind maybe 3-4 years ago, Google, there was this feeling that Google was moving slow when it came to AI because, for example, internet, they had things very similar to Chat GPT within the organization, but they never actually shipped it into as a product, right? Because, well, maybe concerns about how people would react to such a product, maybe also not wanting to cannibalize their search revenue because, again, when you search with ChatGPT, you don't have direct searches to the internet. Or you do have searches like ChatGPT does search, but it doesn't do it in the traditional way where they could serve in ads, right, with search results. So sponsored ads on your Google homepage and stuff like that. So maybe concerns about cannibalization. But over the years, they've gone really deep into actually shipping different AI products. Also, new AI models. Gemini has been making waves in the industry as well. So this is not surprising. Google is still number 2 at the moment, I believe. Number 1 most valuable company in the world is still NVIDIA, and I envision that might keep going on for a while. NVIDIA has pretty much been on top of the world for God knows how long now,
it's
right?
Crazy. The last time this ever happened was January of 2019 that Google went that high. Prior to that, they've just been either in 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
Yeah, I think Apple has been second most valuable for a while, right?
Yeah, but sorry to Apple. I mean, you never know what they have up their sleeves. They might just go back to their product drawing board and surprise us with something else.
Yeah, rumors have it that Apple are working on a foldable iPhone,
I called it.
Yeah.
You remember I called it? I literally said this.
But you know the thing with Apple, 2 years from now or 3 years, they'll release something like, the iPhone reconstructible, the iPhone bendable. And then they call it some flamboyant thing, but it's still the same tech that other brands have used, they've put in place.
On one of the previous episodes where I said they are giving Samsung a run for their money. It's going to become maybe the Apple Fold or something like that. They're just going to rebrand this in a way that makes it seem like they are the one introducing it. Meanwhile, Samsung has been leading.
I feel like it would be a bit hard this time for them to brand it as they
were the
ones that actually launched the first foldable phone. I don't believe they can do that because everybody is kind of just aware of Samsung's foldable phone. Maybe not. People have used it, right?
Yeah.
But most people have not used it yet, but are still well aware that foldable phones are kind of like a thing, right? You see them, for example, in transit on the trains, right? You see them maybe once in a while. You see a colleague at work have a foldable phone, right? So I feel like it's going to be a hard sell for Apple to come from a direction of, okay, this is like our innovation, right? Maybe they might come from the angle of we're the ones that have streamlined and really finalized and refined this design to this point, doing it better, right? And as also, like, we all know that Apple is really good at innovating around software. So probably when they introduce their foldable phones, there are going to be some new software elements and innovations. Let's say there are going to be some new features that are integrated directly into iOS. I expect that makes full use of, for example, the foldable display, the wide display and the landscape, right? Just like, for example, camera notches, where remember when camera notches first came out, like they were just like these black holes in front of your display. But then when Apple did the dynamic island, they spiced things up. They actually made it feel like a feature, like a component in the display, right? With those UI transition elements that you can
and
actually...
then it shows the notifications, what you're listening to, and all of that.
Exactly.
I'm quite keen on seeing how that would look like, because if it's foldable, does the dynamic island also like fold into two when you open your phone?
Yeah, probably the front camera would probably be just oriented to one side of the display. I don't envision that being in the center. Right? Because that would just be weird. But
definitely, I totally agree. But you never know. Again, Apple will always have something like up their sleeves, but we'll keep you posted on what new things is. For now, Alphabet and Google, you can enjoy in second position on the valuation market. The stocks really rose like about 66% in 2025. So fingers crossed. It keeps rising, but again, the competition is really strict and anything can really happen. Talking about stock and valuation, Warner Bros.
Yeah, Warner Bros. And this whole Warner Bros. Netflix and Paramount drama has been really interesting to watch.
It's so funny because, I mean, they make movies, but their drama is literally a movie on itself, and everybody's been seated.
Yeah, everybody's just waiting for what the next plot twist would be in this story, right?
Literally.
No one's surprised, in my opinion, right? Warner Bros. Has kind of like rejected the Paramount bid, right? And they still want to go with Netflix's own bid. One of the rationales or reasons like they gave was the bid from Paramount is too risky in terms of like it's utilizing too much depth to actually make the investment, and they argue that it's not great for their shareholders, right? So still they're going to go with Netflix. But yeah, let's see how this plays out. I still want Netflix to kind of like win. No, I want them to win. No, I definitely want them to win. I want them to win.
I mean, they have enough already. They don't need this.
I would love to see Game of Thrones.
Of course,
on
Harry Potter.
Netflix. Yeah, I would definitely love to see Game of Thrones or Harry Potter.
Goodness.
Netflix already has Harry Potter.
They do have Harry Potter, but I think it might get to a point they'll pull it off. Because they always do that thing where it's like a contract. Then once the contract expires, you have to like remove whatever movie or TV show it is that you have on there. So they always show that thing like leaving next month or leaving in 2 weeks or something like that. Like just trying to urge you to watch it before it goes off.
I heard there's a new Harry Potter series spin-off or something in the works.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is true. I'm not sure whether it's not Disney shooting it right now, but I know it's like one of the streaming services. They have started shooting, actually. I remember seeing like the cast for what the new characters would be like. Initially, I had like mixed feelings about it, but to be honest, I think I've gotten a bit more comfortable with it because as someone that's read all the books, I honestly felt like the initial movies, even though they really tried to like squeeze everything into the 8 parts, maybe like a TV series would actually help to like flesh out the details of some of the things that the movie just skipped over. So that's the only justification that I'm giving at this point. But I'm not happy that we're getting new actors, because for the longest time I've always like had that image of Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Roberts as the OG characters, but now we have to like change all of that and start looking at some random ass kids that are just like, no offense to the kids, like we love them kids, but
Yeah.
I can't match that image in my head. It's like I'm betraying the
Yeah.
OG actors
Yeah.
by watching it. So yeah, gonna confirm what this is going to be like. I'm not sure if it's Olu, but it's not Disney Plus.
Okay.
That's something that I'm quite excited about. But let's just see. In case of the Warner Bros, again, like Iyanu said, nobody's really surprised. Trying to like invest or like make a bid based off debt is risky. Like there is no way at all. If you're saying you're going to borrow money, because the Paramount CEO was going to borrow money from his dad to pull off the investment, and I'm like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense. You're trying to make it a family
so
business.
for those who are not aware, the Paramount CEO is David Ellison, son of Larry Ellison, who is pretty much the creator of Oracle, right? And Oracle is a massive behemoth in the USA, right? And globally as well in the tech industry.
Good to know. If you did not know that,
Yeah, now
thank
you know.
Iyanu.
Now you know.
But yeah, it fell true, so they're not going to go ahead with that. I guess the next news we're going to report about this will probably just be like the finalized part. It's no sneaky because Netflix actually sent out the email announcing the merger even before the thing was signed.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go before the merger is official, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because regulators still have to approve the merger, right? And whether regulators are going to give it the go-ahead is still yet to be seen, especially just considering those Netflix is a huge player in the industry already.
Yeah.
And Netflix having Warner Bros. As well and their inventory of movies would just, that's tending more towards like market dominance, right?
Yep.
That might not be great for the industry as a whole. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Next on our agenda for today, drumroll, OpenAI launches Chat GPT Health.
I'm gonna be honest and come out right now, so everybody can drag me. Personally, I feel like there's nothing I've not been asking ChatGPT at this point. So this product launch or this feature announcement is for me.
Okay.
Because sometimes did you ever just like take a medical test or something? And if you live in the UK, you probably understand how this feels like because you get like all this. It takes a while for you to get appointments. You finally get appointments before you go back to see the doctor to like translate what your report says. It's a long process. So yes, I am guilty of like putting in my medical records. Okay, so but on the bright side, I don't ask it for definite advice. Like just this radiograph, whatever, take a look at it. What does it mean?
Okay.
And then it tells me, okay, this means you're fine or your monolites are like low, you're low in calcium or iron or something like that. I think it's a good feature in a way, but it tends to be a bit risky. Like, what are your thoughts on this? I feel like if people use it on the light surface, it could be good. But if it gets to the point where you're like heavily dependent on ChatGPT giving you advice in regards to your medical records, that's where it becomes a slippery slope.
So, in my opinion, I feel like this could be very impactful, right, for users that may not have easy access, for example, doctors and medical professionals, right? Let's say it could be someone that lives in an area that's quite remote and doesn't have a hospital nearby and might also not be able to just afford consulting with actual doctors, because again, there are places in the world where actually meeting up with a doctor and getting medical advice and consultations is expensive, right? Think of, for example, the USA. Some people might not have health insurance. So having a body, right? I wouldn't go and try to call it like a complete foolproof advisor yet, but having someone that you could actually discuss about your health history could very much be very impactful. And then a lot of people do similar to what you already do, Dammy, where they take tests, they just send it to ChatGPT, hey, what do you make of this? Or even when people might have some symptoms, let's say they see a particular, let's say, rash or something on their body that looks different. They might not know exactly what it is. They could take a picture, say to ChatGPT, what's this? And then ChatGPT could ask questions about, when did it start? Blah, blah, blah. Is it itching? Do you feel a prickly sensation? Blah, blah, blah. Based on the feedback you give it, it could now give you like suggestions of what could be wrong. Right. So I do think that this could be something that's impactful to users, right? And I feel like it's a good thing to have because it's kind of like democratizes healthcare in a way, right? And then obviously, I've read on different occasions that ChatGPT has passed things like medical examinations, right? Even like doing as well as medical students. Or
Oh, really?
yeah. There have been articles like and medical exams that have been tested with ChatGPT, and
Yeah, and
ChatGPT
I did really good.
it actually
Nice.
does pass quite a few medical exams, right? So, but then again, we're still in this gray area where, well, sure, it passes medical exams, but then does that make it
An
trustworthy? I
expert.
mean, yeah, does that make it trustworthy enough to just
Rely
outsource
on
your
all the time.
entire health need? Because when it comes to medicine, right, it's like it's a very critical information critical domain, right, where the slightest mistake could cost their life, right? And you do not want a chatbot giving wrong advice on things like medications and stuff,
True.
and users trusting that instead of actually like seeking for
Same.
like advice, right? So yeah, I think it's helpful, but I think people should be aware of the
The risk.
limitations and the risks.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I think on your points regarding if the data is going to be accurate to a point where you become dependent on it and switching it out for the doctor, because part of the things that this feature is going to come with is you're actually able to put in data from your Apple Health, your Peloton,
Yeah.
as well as MyFitnessPal. So
Yeah.
you've been using your Apple Watch for a while. Your Apple Watch probably has like your data over the years. You're able to like input that or like link it to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has like more data around your sleep structure, how long you exercise, your
Yeah.
steps, your breathing pattern, and
Yeah.
all of that. I think that is also like really smart thinking. So it's not just like data that is being pulled out of nowhere or based off like a one-time instance. It actually has like your record, it has your history, that could help to make it more relevant,
Yeah.
rather than just one-off. Because
All right.
if you've been taking medication for a while, and say your blood sugar is spiking, ChatGPT could be able to like see, okay, based off your record that you've had in 2023 or something, this has happened before.
Yeah.
So I think it could be like a repeat of a previous encounter that you've had, and it's not just like a one-off. But in that case, then maybe say something like, do you want to reach out to your doctor and tell them, oh, I've experienced this before and I'm experiencing this again. It could actually help the doctors to be able to pinpoint exactly what could be wrong. Well, I mean, it's just like a whole lot of wishful thinking. I'm quite excited about it, not gonna lie, but the only thing is like the data privacy. How much is ChatGPT going to be sharing? Is it going to be sharing with other places, other
Yeah.
apps? That is always the slip slope when it comes to AI in general.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that kind of like makes it just like a gray area risky on the data privacy side is like, for example, when it comes to medical health records, typically
Yeah.
those are very protected,
Yeah,
like
the
under
confidential.
law and everything. But then when you're sharing medical information with ChatGPT, is that protected under the law? Like those conversations about your health, can they be requested by, let's say, law enforcement?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, yes. Probably right now, yes, because ChatGPT is not a doctor, right? So literally, right, those same privileges you might have with a doctor probably do not exist with when you talk to ChatGPT. Two things. Number one, I'd be intrigued to see this built out further. For example, having integrations with other like global hospital networks. I really love to see a ChatGPT Health integration with the NHS, for example, where you could just connect it directly to the NHS, your NHS app, and then you could easily give it access to your health records if you wanted to, right? We'd love to also see integrations with Apple Fitness and your Apple Watch data. That would be really cool to see. And now, one prediction from my end, I predict that Amazon is going to release a competitor
Oh my.
to this very, very soon, right? I predict within the next 1 to 2 years, we would see Amazon launch something like this, because Amazon already has like a huge, like in terms of their store, right? They already have like a collection of medicines and stuff like that that
Yeah.
customers could order. I think there is also like Amazon Health as well, although I've never really used that, right? So I'd imagine that this is just something that would be very useful for Amazon customers. So customers could chat on Egypt with Amazon Health, chat with their chatbot. Oh, blah, 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 this is my test, blah, blah. Amazon already has access to some medications and stuff like
And
that.
then just
And they
order
could
this for
easily
you.
just recommend something to you and then All right. So
Nice.
yeah, and if Amazon does that, I think they'll become a behemoth in the healthcare
Yeah,
industry.
that's a brilliant idea. Actually, I think it's one Amazon should definitely take up. If they eventually get to it, please give us our credits. But yeah, no thought of it
Yeah.
first. Moving on to Disney Plus, they are exploring short form videos this year. I
Yeah.
did not see that coming.
Mm.
Because I mean, the TikTok craze is like quite interesting. Everyone loves TikTok now, and short form content seems to be doing really nicely, even on Instagram. But I'm just like, why would Disney Plus want to put in short content?
Yeah.
Until I thought about if it's like maybe trailers or just like clips from movies
Yeah.
on their platform,
Yeah.
that could make sense.
Yeah,
But
I think it can drive engagement. I think it makes sense in a way, right? Because when you think about Disney movies,
yeah,
there are lots of them with super catchy songs, and people might just want to watch like that little section, like a short form clip. Like sometimes I find myself just randomly remembering a particular scene in
I
some
always wanted a
Disney.
brother.
Exactly. And you just go to YouTube, da 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 da, Lion King, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This, and you watch that exact like clip,
And then you
of
don't
it,
watch
and
the rest of the movie.
You just go on your day to day, right? So I think that something like that could be useful to users, right? Another really catchy one, Encanto. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So I think that will make like a really good short form like clip, and they have a huge inventory of these kind of movies, right? And also trailers, like you
Yeah,
said,
trailers.
right? I think just within the past few weeks, Marvel has been releasing some trailers
Yeah,
for the
the new movie.
new is it Avengers Doomsday? Is that the title? I
Yeah.
think Avengers Doomsday, right? And they've releasing some clips. There was one with Thor. Yeah, so I think that this is at the very least a good move. It
Yeah.
could drive engagement quite a bit. It's something that even I think Netflix has had for a bit on their mobile app. So yeah.
Yeah, and Spotify is also tapping in a bit to the engagement part.
Yeah.
But now you're able to share what you're listening to in real time with your friends. They're
Yeah.
putting in a messaging feature.
Yeah, so in the messaging feature, you'll be able to see, for example, your friend listening to at the top of the display, right, or the top of the screen. Then based on that, you can interact with it, for example. And you have to enable listening activity
Yep.
within the
As you
app.
should.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. And yeah, I guess that it's an interesting feature, right? I don't think I see myself chatting with anyone
Nope.
in Spotify. Maybe I might be proven wrong, but right now I'm like, does anyone really want to chat? Maybe audiophiles, people that really love music. Maybe.
Like I like the idea of Spotify Jam because I
Yeah.
mean it allows you to listen to music with your friends 1, 2, 3 at the same time. You just create a jam and you're all listening and
Yeah.
dropping in things into the playlist. That is as far as I think I would go. I would not want to like have actual day-to-day conversation because it's not going to be consistent. That's the way I think about it. I could be listening to something and then I send it to you as a message like, yo, have you heard this song?
Yeah.
We have a conversation about it. That's it. I'm not gonna come back
Yeah.
to like continue. Oh, how are you? How's your day going? Because Spotify doesn't feel like that place to have like personal convos.
Yeah.
But I guess the way you said it's mostly just for audiophiles.
Yeah.
I feel like the parts that I quite like about this feature is you can play around with emojis, save whatever it is that somebody else is listening to
Yeah.
from their activity. So yeah, it will drive engagement, but the messaging part, yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. For the messaging part, I see maybe having messaging groups, circles, music circles or something. I'm gonna trademark that before Spotify steals it. Having music circles where people can just come together in the app, see what everybody is listening to, leave comments.
Yeah.
If you listen to a really nice song, you can just share to your message circle, "Hey guys, this is super awesome, right? Check it out," and then everybody could respond or something. I think that could be of value, but I'm not so sure about just one-to-one
One-to-one chats.
chats, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about safety on the internet, finally, Grok has been put in place. I feel like that needed to be done. Like, it's been quite annoying, the much freedom that people have had with image generation on Grok. I don't understand why we had Grok on Twitter in the first place. I mean, maybe some people find it useful because it's doing the same thing Chat GPT does as well as the other AI products. But a lot of folks on the X app have been misusing it and just like using it to either strip people naked when they post their picture or just like outrightly generating things that are like very disrespectful. So X, as of this moment, has limited the Grok image generation strictly to paying subscribers.
Yeah.
Does that really stop the problem, in your opinion?
I don't think it really stops the problem, right?
Because I think someone that is really dedicated, a troll,
Yeah.
would not mind paying money just to be
Yeah.
troll. Yeah, so if you're saying like only paying subscribers should be able to like do the Grok image generation, I'm like, ugh. The problem is still there.
Yeah, the problem is
because it's
still
a
there.
moral thing in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see how this is going to like play out. Personally, not a fan of the Grok image generation, but hopefully this reduces the harassment people are experiencing online. Because again, no one deserves to like go through that because they're sharing their images. But it's a good move. Big ups to X and Elon, if he was one of the people that signed off on that. Moving on to the one single piece of African news that we have. This is one that I'm super excited about as someone that works in open banking. The fact that open banking is like gaining a bit of sort of publicity in the African sector, that's cool. So Flutterwave, they've acquired Mono. And Mono, for those who don't know, it's like it's a fintech in Nigeria that primarily does like open banking. So the way we have open banking in Europe, where you're able to like link your account to the platform and it gets access to your transactions, which help lenders and other like banking products to be able to make better decisions on things you're eligible for. Flutterwave has actually acquired Mono for like, the range is not, it's just like a range. The actual figure was not revealed. So $25 to $40 million. That is massive. What are your thoughts on open banking?
Open banking is definitely a big innovation.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at, for example, the UK, the open banking ecosystem has kind of been thriving for a while, right? In the UK, with the open banking APIs, you have AIS APIs, like Account Information Service, right? APIs, and then you also have PIS APIs, Payment Initiation Service APIs, and basically banks or ASPSPs in the UK can basically set up these APIs on themselves, integrate into the open banking platform, and then other companies can themselves now integrate and allow their users to use the power of open banking to do things like provide information and initiate payments from their bank account into, like, let's say, a wallet or something like that. So I think open banking is very powerful, right? And I think it's also great to see that this is being innovated upon in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? I think I remember there was a time, I don't know whether it's up to a year yet, but there was a time some time ago where I think the CBN announced that there was some work on standardization of open banking in Nigeria. I don't think we've heard much
about it since
but
then.
you remember what I'm talking
Still
about?
early days.
Yeah.
Still early days.
Yeah. So let's see how this plays out in the end.
Yeah. I feel like Flutterwave is definitely like the appropriate mother company to have acquired Mono, because they have like lots of coverage. I mean, being a unicorn, one of Africa's first and foremost and still relevant unicorn companies, this could be a really good way to like maximize. Because one of the concerns that I had about open banking and is still around, I'll say the legal and compliance bit, but Flutterwave being like already rooted in that environment across multiple countries, not just Nigeria, it could really be a good way for Mono to like scale up faster, because Mono is still going to stay as a single enterprise of itself, but it's just like they report now to Flutterwave, but the employees are still going to stay hired, the direction and everything else is still going to like continue as an independent product, just like they're reporting to Flutterwave now. And Flutterwave has been doing like quite a number of nice things since they became a unicorn. But do you think the next unicorn out of Africa is going to become a fintech again?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, wait, what industry are you keen on within the African sector?
Industry I'm keen on. I definitely am keen on the fintech industry, right? Besides, I think also the logistics industry is kind of like really interesting right now, and there have been quite a few developments in Africa, typically. But I think if there's one industry where another unicorn is going to come out of in Nigeria, it probably will be fintech because
Again, yeah.
just because that's where a lot of the innovation seems to be happening
Yeah.
in, right? And Nigerians, Africans do love their fintech payment apps, right? So
money makes the world go around.
yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And with that, we've come to the end of Tech episode for today. Thank you for listening and watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button right now. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like and share with every other person so they can also stay up to date on our tech content and news happening globally. If you're not following us on social media, you can find us everywhere.
At Tech Pod.
That's easy. Everywhere you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, make sure you listen and share.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you next time with another fantastic episode, keeping you updated on Tech Talk for
everyday people.
Bye.
Bye.